Hello everybody, it is Alan, it is morning time, and welcome back to Let's Play Spirit of Justice. When we last left off, we found out about the Defense Culpability Act, and basically, if Albie is found guilty, we will be put to death alongside him. So something really went on. This princess is very dictatorial, believes she's infallible. But of course, she probably just grew up being raised to think she's infallible, and that she can do no wrong, and when you raise people under that thing, they become very evil people. So, narcissistic people. So, of course, that's what she is. But we're gonna knock her off her pedestal at the end of this case. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. But without further ado, let's get into the new insight mechanic that is our quirk of this game. The accused swung whatever he was holding down on the victim's head. With the pain, the victim's vision went dark. This is when he lost his life. Still, I can't believe it. A murder after the morning dance of devotion. These are the victim's experiences just before his death. As the victim's final memories, we can assume they aren't lies. So how do I break this down? Allow me to relieve you of your ignorance, defense. Did you notice the words that appeared in the seance vision? Okay. Come to think of it, I did see words, like Song of Ceremony and Incense. The victim's final memories are not limited to the sight alone. Sight, smell, taste, sound, touch. All is laid bare in the pool of souls. So what Mr. Roll experienced with his five senses appears in the vision as words, right? Precisely. And by examining these sensations, we can perceive the victim's final moments with unparalleled clarity. Works for me. I can use all the extra information I can get. Now to find a contradiction between her insights and the seance vision. Your Benevolence, I ask that you please show me the seance vision again. Very well. God, that fucking smug look. That fucking smirk. Wait a minute. Her Benevolence said after the morning dance of devotion earlier, didn't she? Is there something off about that? First, I'll use A and D to make my way. I'll use A and D to make my way to the insights that seems off. Yes, this is the insight that sounded funny. Now I'll just carefully compare this insight with seance vision. If I notice a sensation that seems contradicting, I'll select R with it. This is it. This is the part of the vision that contradicts the insight. Now I just select the sensation I think is inconsistent and then present R with it. Wait, no, that's not it. The sensation isn't really inconsistent with the insight. I better find the sensation that is and present R with that. Oh yeah, the sound.
Objection!
Wait just a moment! Yes? What is it, Barbed Head? You're saying the incident occurred after the morning of the Dance of Devotion, right? That's right. What of it? Then isn't it strange that Mr. Roll could still hear the Song of Ceremony? Oh my! You're absolutely right! Is that all that troubles you? Huh? What the victim heard was just a practice run of the Song of Ceremony. Practice run? What are you talking about? Mr. Payne, if you would... Certainly, allow me to explain. The incident occurred in the interval between the morning and afternoon dances. During that time, the singers were practicing in the performance hall. Precisely. I was there as well, so I can corroborate this statement. I see. So what the victim heard was that practice session. There goes my contradiction. Okay, so they were practicing in this performance hall. That must be the room where Albie and I saw her benevolence dancing. However, Mr. Payne, I admit one detail troubles me. Ask away, Your Majesty. It's a big temple. The performance hall and treasure room are quite far from each other. Could the song really be heard all the way in the treasure room? He's right. It is a very big temple. Well, how about it, Mr. Payne? Your Majesty, have you forgotten? There are speakers in every room of the temple. Including the treasure room. Oh, that's right. Speakers? For what purpose? Are you serious, Mr. Wright? They are to broadcast the sacred music performance hall throughout the temple. That's why the victim could hear the Song of Ceremony in the seance vision. It was the practice run going on in the performance hall. Heard over the speakers. Thank you for your explanation, Your Benevolence. That makes perfect sense to a feeble-minded old man like me. Think nothing of it. Now, if you wouldn't mind, could you please alter your sights for us? Very well. It was heard practice run through the temple speakers. I think I'm getting the hang of this. If I point out an inconsistency, she'll update her insights accordingly. So I keep pointing things out. Maybe I can knock all of her insights out after all. Better find another inconsistency, no matter how small. It's a bit hard to focus on the insights with the sounds vision going. I'll try using the pause temporarily to stop the vision. There, I paused the vision. I think I can use N+B to jump to different parts of the vision. I'll try moving the mismatch mark to the flashing red panel there. Okay, now that I know how to get around in seance visions, it's time to find inconsistency between the insights and the vision.
Objection!
Son of a bitch. Sorry guys, I just get the big feeling that something doesn't quite add up, you know? No, I don't know, but I do know you're skating on thin ice, Defense. By your leave, Your Benevolence. Do it. Penalty! Here I thought I was skating so gracefully on that ice, too. Pretty confident I got the right sensation. I guess I better take another look at which insight to present. Okay. Use A&D to cycle through the insights, and try to find the insight that's inconsistent. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and save here real quick. Oh, I haven't saved. That's stupid. Anyway, I should have saved at the end of the last video, but we didn't. But anyway. I think this... I just had the wrong statement, I think. Please tell me this is right.
Objection!
There we go. Okay. I got there eventually. You're saying the victim's field of vision went dark right after he was struck, correct? Of course, as anyone with eyes can see. Well, pardon me, but I must disagree. What? Your benevolence? Please take another look at the exact moment of the victim's pain. Huh? Oh! Everything goes black, and then only after that the victim feels pain. Inconceivable! This places the order of events at odds with what you say happened. My word! Oh, God, your benevolence! What is the meaning of this? I cannot be wrong. My insights are beyond fallacy. If what the defense lawyer says is true, this is a very grave matter indeed. Please forgive me, your benevolence, but I'm afraid that contradiction is something we simply can't ignore. Hehehe. Now, let's not be too hasty, Your Majesty. I think I can clear this up. You have something to add, Mr. Payne? 1,000 apologies. It seems the prosecution has failed to make one tiny thing clear. And that would be... On the day of the incident, there was a power outage, a blackout in one part of the temple. And as I recall, the crime scene was in that sector. The power outage must be why the victim's field of vision went dark. I apologize for neglecting to tell the court this detail. I'm afraid it slipped my mind. Or rather, you knew all and are only letting it slip now that it's convenient, Payne. The power outage knocked out both the lights and the speakers. Oh, there's a blackout that was there? Well now, that explains everything. Does it not? What do you mean, Your Benevolence? Please share your thoughts with the wood. The blackout occurred when the accused and victim were with one another, fearing the victim would flee under the cover of darkness. The accused swiftly brought his weapon down on the victim's head. I see. That makes perfect sense, Your Benevolence. So the victim was struck after the lights went out. The depths of your insight is awe-inspiring, Your Benevolence. Give her a hand, everyone. God, long may you live and prosper. Hey, I want to live long and prosper, too. Enough. Applause. You flatter me. Now, Your Benevolence, in light of this new information... Yes, of course. I will alter my insight. The accused swung with a... began. So much for my inconsistency. At least I was able to draw out some new info. And with new info comes a chance to find new inconsistencies. Now to compare insights with the vision again and see what else I can dig up. With the blackout, it doesn't make sense anymore.
Objection!
Yes, I finally found it. This is the gaping hole I've been looking for. Your benevolence, as impressive as your spirit communion power is, it's not infallible. You never know when to stop talking, do you? I hope you realize your words are an insult to all adherents of Kudainism. Defense! Watch what you say! You don't mind that tongue of yours, you won't have one left to mind! It's certainly not my intention to insult spirit mediums. But maybe I'm not the one who needs to learn when to stop talking. What malarkey. I believe you said a few moments ago that the victim could hear the Song of Ceremony thanks to the temple speakers. But then, how do you explain how the victim could still hear the Song of Ceremony even after the power went out? Oh! This contradiction of facts can only mean that the Song of Ceremony Mr. Roll heard was not coming from the speakers. What? Impossible! What are you saying? The song you heard was coming directly from the performance hall? That's exactly what I'm saying. It's the only possible explanation. the scene of the crime was nowhere near the performance hall. Right. The song couldn't make it all the way to the treasure room. Not unless... You mean to say... Yes, the treasure room was not the actual scene of the crime. It must have been somewhere else, somewhere closer to the performance hall. What? You can't be serious! This is a glaring contradiction in the claims of her benevolence and the prosecution. Therefore, the defense insists that this case be thoroughly re-examined. What? No! This is completely unprecedented. An inconsistency in a benevolence's insights? Unbelievable. Heed not this forked tongue, Your Majesty. These are but the claims of a corrupt lawyer, a feeble ruse from a feeble mind. But the contradiction revealed by the defense is undeniable. We can't just turn a blind eye to it. The defense's assertion is in the end meaningless. Even if the location of the murder turned out to be different, that doesn't change what we see in the moment of the murder. Indeed. The accused is standing right there in front of the victim. Furthermore, the murder weapon remains raised above his head. My insights still stand. I hate to admit it, but she's right. Seance vision still makes the situation look really grim for all. I doubt even the defense can dream up the explanation as to why. The accused has hands up over his head, while this defense dares to dream of making it out of this nightmare alive. You what? You still insist on trying to tear down my insights, do you? You better be prepared to back up your claim. Remember what will happen to that tongue of yours if mind you are just whacking it. Of course I can back up my claim just as soon as I think of something. You appear to be fully prepared to finish. As the embodiment of this court, I give you permission to try and prove your claim, as long as you're willing to stake your life on it. I concur, Your Majesty. Prepare the tongue shears. Chop, chop. To chop, chop? Yes, let's have the bailiff fetch them. I think I saw a suitable pair in the basement. Chop, chop. Stop, stop. I hear that lying lawyers have several tongues to spare. I'm sure he won't miss one. Yikes. These people are actually serious. Are they attached to my tongue? Think, Phoenix, think. Other than to raise a weapon, why would Albie have held his hands above his head like that? Aha! So that's why. The reason the defendant had his hands up above his head can be explained by something in the crime photo. What explains why Albie had his hands raised above his head?
Take that!
As in the seance vision, I witnessed the defendant raise both of his hands over his head yesterday. You did? Where did you see such a thing? When the police had their guns trained on him as they made their arrest. Are you saying the victim was a security guard, and an armed one at that? The defense proposed that the victim had pointed his firearm at Albie, and that's why the defendant's hands were raised in the air. Palunka! We would have thought that seance vision could be interpreted that way. It's not possible. It can't be. Not bad for a total knockout. Dare that lawyer devil go against her benevolence. He's no better than that traitorous snake, Dirk. Traitorous snake? Dirk? Who's that? No, I can't believe it. A contradiction in one of my insights. There has to be some kind of mistake. I won't accept it. That's right, Your Benevolence, and I won't accept it either. It goes against all we hold sacred. Throw him in jail immediately for... Police, Your Majesty. What? In jail. For the way he disrespected her benevolence. Oh, these people are definitely not my fans right now. Peace! Give me peace! I said peace! Now everyone, please calm down. Is he? Your Majesty, please assign this black-card attorney a suitable punishment. No, I I can't charge him with lese majesty. What? But why not, your majesty? He was simply following the proper procedure for defending the accused. There's nothing unlawful about that. But your majesty, don't you want to wrap this trial up quickly? Why not just give your verdict? Then you could go home and make it up to your wife. We can't end the trial now. Not when we just learned new information about the case. What? Your majesty, not you too. You would honestly entertain the idea that my insight contains a contradiction. Truly, it is shocking. In the 20+ years since the DC Act went into effect, such a thing has never occurred. To be honest, I didn't want to believe it either. But with his life on the line, the defense pointed out an inconsistency, and it is our duty to scrutinize it to the satisfaction of the law. You dare go against the royal priestess, you non-believer! No, my faith is as strong as ever. But I have the duty to make a fair ruling in this trial. This is why theocracies should not be a thing. If you insist on interfering with that process, your benevolence, I'm afraid I must request your removal from this courtroom, royal priestess or not. What? I'll have you know, your benevolence. Please acquiesce in this, your benevolence. If looks could kill, I won't forget this offense, barbed head. I do not admit defeat. I won't. Bailiff, please show your benevolence out. Your Monty will face due retribution in the Twilight Realm. The demons there will pluck the pods right off your stupid head. I hope your suffering will be super duper painful. And I hope they throw you into a lake of burning fire. Yeah, and then... God, what a fucking little brat. Jesus Christ. Guess she's still just a teenager after all. That's what I figured. Now then, defense. Mr. Light, was it? That's right, your majesty. Phoenix Wright. Of course, Mr. Wright. My apologies. Well, now that we have this newly uncovered fact, I suggest we proceed with the arguments. Thank you, your majesty. Yes. But do not misunderstand me. This doesn't mean I trust you completely. I'll be keeping a close eye on you, so don't even think about lying to this court. I understand, your majesty. Whew. Maybe now we can finally run a real trial. Arguments, your majesty? Very well, I accept your challenge. Huh? What's with it? Oops, excuse me. Oh, the look on your face, Mr. Wright. It's just too hilarious. What's so funny, Mr. Payne? The defense still doesn't get it. The truth, on Earth, is going to bury him in his case instead. What do you mean by that, prosecutor? I told you, chief prosecutor. Yes, because that's the thing to focus on right now. The defense is digging its own grave. Consider this, your majesty. Why would the victim, a security guard, point a gun at the accused? Oh, indeed, because the accused was about to commit a theft. It's the only logical explanation. What? That does sound pretty logical, actually. It doesn't help the accused situation at all. If anything, it makes him look even more guilty. Yes, I have to agree. Allow me to spell out this truth the defense didn't bother to think through. Mr. Roll came across the accused just as he was trying to steal the treasure. The guard pointed his gun at the accused, and just when the power went out, the accused murdered the victim and hid his body in the treasure room. Hand truck for moving heavy treasure around is stored in the treasure room. The accused could have easily moved the body with that. But after all that hard work to knock down this insights, back to the old familiar corner once more. Mr. Wright, do you have a rebuttal? Drawing a total blank here. I hope you're ready to climb that scaffold. I asked you a question, defense. Got nothing. I can't think of any grounds for an objection. The only thing to do at this point is to ask the defendant himself what happened. But I don't know if Albie will cooperate with me or not. Albie? Will you tell us what really happened? You don't have to say anything, accused. Fall for his evil trap and only dirty your own soul. Albie, you have to tell me the truth. I can't help you unless you do. Mr. Wright, I'm sorry. Why? Why won't he trust me? Is this it? Is this the end for both of us? Maya, sorry. I never met a real lawyer before. Never met a real lawyer before. Everybody always told me they're bad. Bad people who help dirty criminals go free. I never thought a lawyer would actually try to help me. Would actually believe in me. Would risk his own life for me. I never would have even imagined it. Albie? So, that's why I lied. To try and save myself. But I'm not going to lie anymore. If you believe in me enough to put your life on the line, then I'm going to believe in you too. What? Allow me to explain! Now we're talking. Finally get to the bottom of things. To be honest, I went into the treasure room lots of times to look at the treasure box. Even though the temple told you weren't allowed to go anywhere near it. Yes, I'm sorry. Mr. Roll even saw me once and scolded me. That box is so beautiful. The way it glows in the dark. I couldn't help myself. Wait, it glows in the dark? That's right. It's covered in this special mineral called fluorinite that makes it glow. It's absolutely breathtaking. It's really a shame they don't put it on display for the public. Can you imagine how many people would go on night tours for the temple if they did? If only he applied such passion to telling me the truth earlier. On the day of the incident, I was on my way to the treasure room again. When I ran into Mr. Roll on the great stairs. So those were not the treasure room stairs in the seance vision? No, they were the great stairs that connect to the hallway. Makes sense. The vision wasn't clear enough to show us what was at the top of the stairs. All of a sudden, Mr. Roll drew his gun and threatened me with it. I quickly put my hands up. Mr. Roll, he acted so scary. For some reason, he had a scarf over his mouth. I couldn't read his expression at all. Just then, the power went out, so I took the chance to hightail it out of there. I ran for my life. Even now, when I try to think back on it, all I can remember are the gun and the piercing look in Mr. Roll's eyes. It must have been when I dropped the notice scroll. Which means someone else brought it to the treasure room along with Mr. Roll's body. Did Mr. Roll say anything to you when you ran into him on the stairs? What is it, Albie? I have no idea why, but he asked me a strange question. Did you steal it? He said. What? I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't say all this before. I didn't think anybody would believe me. A grand speech. One that confirmed my suspicions that you were the thief.
Objection!
It's possible the victim simply misread the situation. Where there's smoke, there's fire, as they say. The victim must have had a good reason to be suspicious of the accused. Why does every new piece of information have to seem so incriminating? Shadow, what do I do, Shadow? No what better reason to suspect the boy than seeing the treasure box in his hands? In the course of his rounds, the victim must have noticed that the treasure had been stolen, and then just after that, he ran into the accused, Albie Urgate. No, that's not what happened. Therefore, the one who stole the treasure and killed the victim can be none other than the accused. Oh! Oh! So darky! now? Hey, Shadow, down boy! Well, what do we have here? I'm sorry about this. This is my dog, Shadow. You nearly gave me a heart attack. So that's what was making his bag move. Can't you quiet that yappy muck down? Shadow says that Mr. Roll made a mistake. You can understand him? Don't tell me this is a prize witness for the defense. I beg your pardon, you're not thinking of cross-examining an animal, are you? Of course not, your majesty. Not this time, anyway. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I thought I'd have to reassess my assessment of sanity for a second there. I think I'd better reassess my strategy and fast. I have to somehow show that somebody else could have struck the victim, or we're sunk. While it's true that the defendant was standing in front of where the victim when he died, it doesn't mean somebody else couldn't have struck the victim at that time. If we're going to go that far, then I hope this means you have another angle of approach ready. Exactly, I mean, who but the accused standing front and center could have done it? Unless you can back up your claim, it's nothing more than conjecture. Okay, come on, Phoenix. I know I can think of something convincing. Could the victim have been struck by? Well, we will decide that next time on Spirit of Justice. Yeah, so the little brat threw a hissy fit when we told her insights were wrong. I'm not surprised that she was a kid, and she's been raised this whole time teaching her that she's infallible, that she can't do no wrong. That's what happens when you treat kids like that and spoil them. They become spoiled little freaking brats who won't take no for an answer. But it can wait till next time. So thank you all for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you have more content, especially more Spirit of Justice. Also make sure to share this video far and wide so you get as many new eyes on the series as possible. I will see you in the next one.